What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert D. Toff.
I've turned a new leaf, and I will be really nice from now on.
I have Mr. Just One.
Yo, what's happening?
And Miss Skullface.
Hello.
And we're going to continue on with the collection critiques, and this night we're going to hop right in with Todd R., who I do know personally. And I have mixed feelings about this, and I'm going to tell you why. So, my first thought in looking at this is get those detolfs off the floor. This isn't a bad setup overall, but you got to get those detolfs off the floor. My second thought is this man is obviously anti-dust. So he's got these glass cabinet doors on his billies. However, it ends up like drawing your attention away from what's inside the billy and ends up asking you to pay more attention to the frame of the glass doors, in my opinion.
I think this display is really angry.
Angry?
Because of all that glare. Honk, honk, honk.
But like, I don't think these are bad. Like he hasn't overcrowded them. Like you can see the figures in them. There's display stands for some of them. Like he gets it.
Do you like the white boxes? What are those white boxes called? He's got them all off kilter and like
yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily pick them, but the fact that he's got them off kilter does make them more interesting to me.
I like them off kilter a lot.
Yeah,
I like the doors on them. Those are the type of doors you need if you can, like on the billy. You just need with no seams.
So that's the thing. He needs stuff behind glass. He can't stand the idea of it being out in the open in Gen Pop. He needs to put it in isolation, and as a result, I think it actually does it a disservice. I'll be honest.
I like the glass doors on the billy, but I do understand what you're saying. It's just these glass doors may not be the ones.
You got the vertical seam.
But I think it
it's
depends on how
off.
you set it up too, right? So what if you were to separate it into more of a DTOF type setup? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard. I get you can't have like the Dinobots, I guess, all split up or whatever. But I think if you were to treat it more like a DTOF sized space, the line might not be so bothersome.
Maybe
you lose the benefit. Yeah,
you do lose the benefit of the billy though. The lateral space. The billy benefit. if you look at like he's got one of these. It looks like one of these DTOFs is rigged up. This one with the Mega Supreme in it. It looks like 2 put together, but it's one of the cleaner ones I've seen.
He has 2 like that.
Oh.
Yeah, the other one between the billies is the same way.
See, I hadn't noticed that. Like that's pretty clean. Like I've seen a lot of people double up DTOFs and have it not look as clean as this looks. It's pretty good. I will say now I know this guy, so I know he's already gotten rid of all of his Mezco figures. However, if he did still have them, he needs to get risers for the DC ones because they're having the same problem that a lot of people's Transformer collections are having, where they're just all the same size, all standing in a line. He knew he was taking pictures for dummies. He didn't even bother to stand up Green Lantern. Todd, what's going on with you?
I think it's just you have a display that just we don't prefer, but I think you're fine. Just keep pushing what you've got.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's
not bad. It's not bad.
I agree.
He needs something on top of that DTOF to somehow bring it all together.
Yeah, or even a framed piece of art, you know.
Plant.
Right. Or he just needs to raise the details up like
a plant.
You could put the Unicron up there, yeah.
Yeah, well, I did suggest to put the to raise these DTOFs, raise all these DTOFs up. But I could tell you, like, even looking at that DTOF there, the main one, he's got 2 shelves full of Mezco figures, and I already know they're gone. So I don't know what his intention is.
And he's got 3 cubes and 3 DTOFs.
Somebody said, Cyclonus, let me see your muscles.
And I think the DC stuff needs the risers and the DTOF.
Yeah, I had mentioned that too. But yeah, I mean, I think like it's clean. His carpet's particularly clean.
The first photo, the Galeriphus Maximus photo, the bottom right corner, you see that carpet? He vacuumed for you, Bobby. You can see the streak from the vacuuming.
I think that's just from the last time he vacuumed, because I can't imagine he would vacuum for me and then leave Green Lantern laying.
Listen, let me tell you.
Head over.
I recommend it over. If you're going to send in photos, clean up your space. It's the least you could do.
And he did.
Or don't.
And but I think this is good. I think that he is on to something. It's clean. I think he has a little bit more kind of logistic work to do. He really, really hates dust. He might need to think about that a bit, but because it might be doing a disservice.
So
like a change
would
machine.
you have him take the shelves off of the billies?
The doors, the glass doors, yeah.
I would say take the shelves off.
I like him.
Stop, Robert. God, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Just Robert DTOF that.
And turn them sideways while you're at it. All right, so here comes the next one. This is from Mac. Okay, so here's my thoughts about this. So this is crowded, but I don't hate it. And I think it might be the subtle lighting and the fact that there's like, you can see all the figures. It's not just a sea of heads. Like, it kind of reminds me of those Transformer posters where they're like all the characters just standing in the, like Jaina had the Autobot one.
Yeah, well, but maybe you can have one shelf like that, but it's too much. So.
I'm digging this guy's closet, man.
Well, he's got everything raised up in the back, but it's like a late night club vibe.
This is Club Cybertron.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, man.
The Decepticon shelf is not as successful as the Autobot shelf, but I think it has potential. Like, I usually hate super crowded stuff and, you know, stuff that's not especially well lit. And, you know, like, I usually hate this. I'll be honest with you. But, like, I don't hate this. I actually think...
I feel like he's crowded it on purpose. You know, some
Yeah.
people it's crowded because they're cramming it
Yes.
in there.
This looks
And
purposefully
they're
crowded.
They're posed for the most part as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sauce.
This works.
It does.
Because they're posed. They're posed in there. Like, yeah, it's crowded on purpose, and that's the difference. I think it's the first time we've ever seen somebody that's crowded something, well, like with the intent to crowd it.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And
Look, they are posed in there.
yeah.
He's got 4 layers on the Autobot shelf.
I think you
Wow.
could argue 5.
Yeah, he's good. That's good.
Yeah, the
What's
Autobot shelf is
behind
super
cracks?
successful.
Like in between Grapple and Ultra Magnus. What are those white things?
I think that's a background. Like,
Oh, maybe so. You're right. I see it now. Yeah,
It's almost like for
mills.
which
the
look,
Decepticons.
let's be honest, you don't need a background when you're just pouring figures into a shelf like this. But I'm not mad at that because
Decepticon one works.
yeah,
The Decepticon shelf, I wish we could see it more from like the Autobot angle. But you see what he's doing with Swindle there? I feel like you need to spread them out even more because they're larger. Decepticons are generally larger.
It's kind of from that angle.
You need to get
Yeah.
rid
I
of
would
those
find
white
a way to
cords.
subtly light the Autobot shelf just a little bit more light, not a lot, just a tiny bit more for those back. I don't know how you would do that. You got a vibe on these shelves.
there's a vibe.
Yeah, you got to
those
run with that vibe.
The Decepticons, it's like, get rid of those MP cassettes, man. You got to get the MMC ones, and you can have Reflector, you can have the Insecticons. You got to do the same layering. You got to do the same layering.
Yeah, that's true. I think the smaller Decepticons would do this shelf a service. I'm not crazy about, like, he has this one picture with the Omega and the like, that doesn't even seem like it's part of the same collection.
I know. I agree. It seems like it's out of place.
I think that's his Misfit shelf, honestly. I do.
Yeah, but like, look to the left. I think he's got a lot of Misfit shelves that perhaps he didn't share.
And they look like they're on top of two detolfs, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, look, whatever you're doing,
He didn't
whatever
share
you're
the
doing
detolfs.
with those misfits, just turn it into this other thing. Also, I think you need Megatron off that throne. I think you need to ditch the throne.
I don't know.
I do kind of like the throne.
I don't know. I think it's kind of working.
But
you've got to have him like centered and then
Yeah, or you need-
surrounded vertically and
You can't have him
on both
crowded.
ends.
Yeah.
Right. He's got to be surrounded on top and below, and you still have to be able to see him. So he should be on a riser mid-level with stuff even higher, stuff next to him laterally, and stuff below him in front of him.
Like, I would put Soundwave where Motormaster is, or even where Shockwave is. I'd move Shockwave to where Motormaster is. I'd put Motormaster where Soundwave is.
Yeah, the Decepticon one definitely needs a little bit more TLC, but that Autobot one, I'm kind of surprised how much I enjoy it.
Yeah, and he could pull that off with the Decepticons too.
I think you would have to be a Transformers fan to appreciate that shelf. Like, I think the problem with how crowded that Autobot shelf is that like it's back to that Batman, the more you have, the less they're worth look. If you weren't familiar with all this and you came into his house, you'd be like, oh, you got a ton of just junk in this little shelf. But if you were in the know, you'd be like, you'd be able to appreciate it.
Have you guys ever seen, like, okay, Omega Supreme, Constructor? I don't think they display well with MPs.
'Cause, like,
on a shelf with MPs.
On a shelf with MPs, I agree. It doesn't do them enough service. I think
It takes away the impressiveness of the size.
Correct.
And then look, he's crowding with double
Legend. If you're going to display those, you need to put them with Legends or just by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta like get some tape for those white cords.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt.
I'd like to see more photos of just what you got.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on to the next one. This is actually some really impressive stuff here. Jason Y.
Oh, why'd you do that, Jason?
Why'd you do that, Jason? I think I like everything he's done.
Wow, I love the Autobots, man. Spread real nice.
Yep.
Oh.
The little Optimus Prime floating shelf looks good with like a little focus on that character. We got stuff in box. We got alt modes. We got different sizes, posters, little like pop type things. The whole little like Walking Dead or whatever this thing is, or the whole wall of in box figures that are all laid out. They all are spaced well apart. apart where like the lines don't get all crazy. The 1/6 scale stuff that looks great, but the Transformers above it that are nice and spaced out, and then the diorama stuff. Like the dude's just got a great like collection and well displayed.
I'm gonna come in with the critique just on a few things. So I think you should get rid of this Optimus shelf and just have a piece of art there. That's just my opinion on that.
Or a plant.
Or a plant. And I think the Autobot shelf, like you've done all these dios, you have all these backgrounds, so to have the Autobots on top of all those details, which look really nice, I think you need a background for them.
And that's easy to fix.
Because you have it. Because you have it so many places, you notice where you don't have it.
I'll tell you, his backgrounds here for his 1/6 scale stuff is like kind of what I would like to do at some point for my 1/6 scale stuff. Like where it's like the logo of the character or the brand.
Right. It's dope.
It's not like a setting. There are some settings like the Zorro one and stuff, but like I don't like even the Zorro one as much as I like the Justice League one, the Suicide Squad, the
Joker one's cool.
the Joker one, the Superman one. Like I love this.
Yeah, that's real good.
Like,
That's really good.
You don't think then looking at the Autobots above that then takes away because they just look like, I mean, they're displayed nice. They're displayed really nice.
Right.
That's
They're
the way they're all
spaced well.
spaced, but
I
They're-
think they're
you
a
need
little bit
something behind it.
small. Yeah, and they're a little bit small to be up there.
They are,
Make them,
but I
make
think
them big with a background.
yeah, I think if you had a background plate up at the top and you put them in front of it, like just pretty much the same way, even like
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, the way they're displayed, I think is fine. I just think you need a scene behind there. You need
You have the
something behind.
desert where the mountains are
Yeah.
have Teletran 1 running from left to right. Big ass Teletran.
Because especially that shelf, like, because look, you have this shelf, the shelving unit with, you've got a dio for the Dinobots, which is cool as maybe it just hasn't gotten there yet, but I don't know. It just seems like, again, like I said, you have all these displays and all these like backgrounds, so I notice where you don't have them.
This is almost reminiscent of the scene where Optimus fights Megatron and he cheats. You just have the top of a cliff in the desert. You run right across the wall back there.
that dio of the turtle, the sewer, like he's got like the old retro pizza box from Domino's.
Yeah, the Domino's box,
from
yeah.
Michelangelo. He's got like the little like bridge from one side of the water to the other. The water itself is underlit. Like there's a lot of pride in this stuff.
Yeah.
His Decepticon shelves, like in that little Billy looking thing. I know it's not a little Billy, but it looks like one. It might be.
Yeah, just with the cut-in logo in the back.
Yeah, the cut-in logo
It's
in the
perfect.
back.
That's all you need.
It's all you need with the risers.
I'll tell you that if I still had my collection with my Detolfs, I would have totally ripped off this Decepticon thing. It's just enough to make it pop.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot negative to say about this. The only thing that I have negative to say about this is I want more photos of it. Because, like, if you look in the last photo, he's got this whole diorama built below the Dinobots of, like, a Predator, like, temple with, like, the just like 6 Predators in it. Not overstocked, not filled to the brim. You can see all, like, it looks really good. It's lit.
Do you think that that molding in the middle of that shelving on the top bothers him? Bothers me.
Oh, yeah. I have thought about that. I'm sure that drives him nuts.
Because that looks like Nona's shelf right there.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
don't
gonna
think it
repurpose
looks
it. Look
bad.
at how many people that
Yeah,
have-
I don't think that looks
Yeah.
bad.
It
personally.
gives it a little bit of character, but I bet you it does
What's
drive
on
him
top
nuts.
of there, though? Is that his Misfit shelf on top?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's the
It's
Misfit
movie
stuff.
stuff.
But I'll tell you, like that's how good it is. The stuff in there that I didn't even notice that. Like I would have skipped over all the stuff that's on the top. There's so much going on that you don't even notice the stuff that's just hanging out there.
Shout out to that Bay vs. B. There's 2 of them up there. Just like, we don't care. We're here. What's up?
I just think that it's interesting that he's embracing a bunch of different looks, like the diorama look with the lights. Obviously, that works, and then like the Stunicon shelf, where just that plate in the back with a light and risers and variations of heights and sizes, that works. Then the 1/6 scale stuff with quote unquote dioramas in it, but it's a different style diorama where it's more about the franchise and less about the scene. Like this dude is on it.
That Dinobot shell, you know what really sets it apart? Plants.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
I want to see this guy's Predacon shelf. You got Kang toys? Get some Kang toys on there with some plants, buddy. I want to see that.
All right, let's move on to our last one. This is Mr. Billings. All right, so the first one is the Turtles one. The game in the middle is a nice touch.
Ooh. look at that.
The quarter scale stuff looks good. The bottom shelf looks like it looks a little top heavy. If I was to be critical, like I might move Shredder and the Foot Soldier to the bottom, move that other shelf up, and try to fit smaller stuff in there. The same with on the other side. Like I might swap those shelves. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they just look uneven.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can now with the lights that he has in there. But I generally like this. I like the video game in the center. I like the diorama sitting on the boards at the top, splitting the two. Like that, the pops on one side, the movie stuff on the other, like the mask, different type of shit. I like it.
My suggestion for stuff like this, when you have two shelves, like instead of having the 4 turtles on one shelf, just put 2 on the top on one side, 2 on the top on the other side. Like just try and balance it out.
Yeah, and get rid of that cord on the bottom left. All right, Laura?
I hate a cord. I hate it.
Laura
Drives
does
me
hate a cord.
insane.
Then we got like the short circuit, RoboCop, and that big like that works for me.
The Ed 209.
Yeah, the Terminator stuff. It is the second shelf is a little weird with the all this taller stuff on one side, the shorter stuff on the other. I would maybe split the taller stuff up and put the smaller stuff in the middle, a little like symmetrical stuff like that, like choices. That little
I like the Contra figures with the splatter
with the little
shot.
balls, yeah, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. I don't like the Freddie Mercury shelf, like with Wolverine, and like it's too small. I can't see what's going on.
Yeah, they need to come forward if it's going to be that.
You don't have
It
the
was
Michael
just a
Jackson
weird
figure.
This is another split DTOF. Is that what this is?
Yeah, but I like the Marvel Legends and that double DTOF. He did the double DTOF also, but it works.
Yeah, look at this freaking Sentinels. So good.
Yeah, his X-Men are like spread out well. He could
Look
probably
at the bottom. The bottom's empty.
Yeah, he's got room to grow.
You guys go to that photo where it shows the whole room.
Or he left the bottom empty on
You kind of get the
purpose.
feel for it.
Leaving the bottom empty gives the illusion of it being risen.
But I will say, Mr. Billings, you got to get rid of that fold-up chair and that little bull table you got with your little comic box on top.
So it's interesting because looking at these things up close, like by themselves, is good. But then when you look at the room as a whole, I think it just doesn't flow quite right.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, listen, that's important to me.
But I can't really get a good idea for the room, to be honest with you.
Look at that clean carpet.
It's hard.
It's hard to get a decent idea of the layout. Like his Transformer stuff and the DTOFs, I don't think it works.
Who's the plumber is down on the floor, Mark?
Yeah,
So it's like a
I think some of the Transformers in the DTOFs work.
Which ones?
The Jetfire one and the one with the, I guess, the computer from the Autobots.
The Jetfire one isn't hateful. The computer one does not work.
The best one is the one with Sphinx in it on the right. That's the best. No, the bottom right with Rodimus and Wheelie. Matt, you rock.
This is like right tool for the right job. This is not it.
I think this is a case of just reworking the space too. You got a lot of good components in here.
Yeah, I don't think
I
this isn't a lost cause.
I think your turtle shelf is the best part of is the highlight of your display, and I would make that like maybe it is when you walk into the room, but I would make that like the focal point.
Yeah, I think
the Hot Toys look really good too.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the Hot Toys look fantastic.
Dude, those Hot Toys at this angle looks like they're all just floating. It doesn't look like they're standing on anything.
Wait, before you go there, what do you think about the constructor being there dead center, like in the big shelf?
I don't like it. I don't
See,
like
I
it.
do. I
Squishing
like
the
that
cone
shit.
heads.
So
it's because he's squishing.
It's
the cone
because
heads,
he's
right?
squishing the cone heads. If you swapped out the cone heads maybe to another shelf and then put some smaller figures down on that shelf, then maybe it would work. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like and not for nothing, but Billings, look at these poses, Mac. Look at your Blitzwing and your Astrotrain. They look like you want them to be picked up for a hug.
Dude, look at those slippers. He got 4 slippers on stands down
too
there.
many Scourges. Just because it's in the movie doesn't mean that you need it. You got the Hasbro Quintesson and Sharkticons. That doesn't work.
You can almost
square.
You got to have a
Yeah.
Dr. Egg. You got to get a Dr. Egg there. But also, if you're going to have Sharkticons, you have to have a mass of them and put them on layered risers. They have to be everywhere, I think, and not just down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like the Jetfire shelf works because you have so Jetfire's of one height, Prime is of one height, Trailbreaker's of one height, Ironhide's of one height. He spills into the second DTOF, and then Brawn's of one height. But like that works. But then on the other side, it doesn't work.
Well, you need to put a whole background. Like the Teletran one, you can't have that open glass there either. You need to put just the whole wall. That's part of that issue.
Yeah,
because it doesn't look cohesive. Like the Dinobot one would work better. I think the glare doesn't work, but like
this is
it's a better use of those backgrounds.
This is almost a perfect example of what we talk about when we're like, look, we don't hate DTOFs. It's just using them properly. Like his 1/6 scale stuff looks great. I don't even quite understand how he has the Hulk and Thor where he has them. I don't know how he pulled that off unless he cut the glass.
That looks amazing.
but
It looks like the collector, you know?
Yeah, but that looks good. And then the double detolfs that he did with the 1/12 scale figures, like the X-Men and stuff, look pretty good. But
I'll tell you the reason why Hot Toys work in there too is they fit the space well, but then they're all relatively the same height. That's kind of the problem. It's not that even if they didn't fit the space, but Transformers are all over the place height wise, so it's tougher.
He's got more diplomas there next to those 1/12s. How many colleges has this guy gone to?
You know, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the G.I. Joes, like, especially if you look at, like, his Joe, like, not his Cobras, but his Joes, like, he's working on a pyramid, but, like, when he fills that shelf out, it's going to look good.
Right.
Look, what I want to know, look at the photo of the room with the lit shelves, and you got the turtles on the right and the folding chair that you love.
Yeah.
How do you have such a clean carpet and a clean room?
I know. I felt the same thing with Todd.
But then you leave a cardboard tube on the floor.
Yeah, but you're saying it like that. There for a year. Maybe you just got
it's been there all year. But I mean, for the photo, Matt.
My thing is, looking at the photo, it looks like he has a ton of room on both sides of his TV, and the detolfs look really small. I would think about reworking that entire space furniture-wise, personally. I just don't think detolfs are the right answer there. Not for Transformers. It's very rare to see them look good.
You think you'd be better off moving those Billies there instead?
Maybe.
And moving those Transformer detolfs to
Maybe. But you know what the thing is? He likes Transformers more. See, like this is the main focus, right? He wants to sit on this couch and watch his TV or play his video games and then have it flanked by the things that he loves the most. Unfortunately, it's the wrong furniture for those things.
Well, then just switch out the furniture. Keep the same pieces.
I agree.
But I think those Billies take up more wall space and they'd look better. The problem is you just need to fill that space more on that wall.
I agree.
Salami.
Beckway.
Plant.
Ooh, volcanoes.
Lava.
Oh, head scratches from a cat.
Yeah.
Pompeii.
$5,000 cat.